Attraction, it doesn't usually shout from the rooftops. It's more of a whisper. It's this whole silent language spoken in little gestures and quick glances. In this explainer, we're going to decode that language. We're going to break down the 5 biggest signs that someone is actually into you.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You feel that spark, that little pull across the room. But then the doubt creeps in, and you start asking yourself, is this just me, or are they feeling it too?
Well, here's the thing. While we're all pretty good at guarding our words, our bodies, well, they're not so great at keeping secrets. They're constantly sending out these little subconscious signals that show what we're really thinking. So if you want the answer, you just have to learn how to read them. Okay, let's dive right in with sign number 1, and it's maybe the most powerful one of all, the language of the eyes. You've heard the saying, the eyes are the window to the soul, right? Well, when it comes to attraction, that is 100% true. So what are you looking for exactly? First, prolonged eye contact. This isn't just a normal glance. It's a look that holds for just a second too long. Then there's this amazing biological giveaway. Their pupils get bigger. Yep, when we're excited or interested in someone, our pupils dilate, and it's something they literally cannot control. And if you catch them shooting you quick, repeated glances, that's them making a conscious effort to keep you in their line of sight. But okay, here's the real pro-level move to watch for. It's called the flirting triangle. Normally, when we're talking to someone, our gaze moves in a little triangle between their eyes and their nose. But when attraction enters the picture, that triangle gets bigger. It widens to include their mouth, and maybe even scans down to their body. It's super subtle, but if you see it, it's a massive signal.
All right, let's move on to our second sign. I love this one. It's something that psychologists call mirroring, and it is a fascinating, deeply subconscious sign of connection.
So what is mirroring? It's basically when someone unconsciously starts to copy your body language. You lean in, they lean in. You touch your face, they touch theirs. You cross your legs, a second later, they do too. According to experts like Joe Navarro, it's the brain's way of saying, hey, I get you. We are totally in sync right now.
This little story just makes it so clear. This guy's on a date and he starts to notice something odd. Every single time he took a sip of his drink, she would do the exact same thing, almost immediately. At first, he probably just thought it was a weird coincidence, but it wasn't. It was classic mirroring. Her body was screaming what she wasn't saying out loud.
Our third sign is all about physical space. It's the pull of proximity. See, when we're attracted to someone, we have this instinctual urge to close the distance, to get just a little bit closer.
So what does this look like in the real world? Well, they might lean in closer when you're talking, almost like they can't get enough of what you're saying. They might also find little excuses for those accidental touches, a light brush on your arm when they laugh, or a tap on your shoulder. And get this, scientists say even a tiny touch like that can release oxytocin, the love hormone, which literally builds a feeling of connection between you two. Okay, for our fourth sign, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, their posture. Think of their body as a compass, because it can be surprisingly accurate at pointing directly towards what or who they're interested in. Someone who's interested will usually have a very open posture around you. They'll pull their shoulders back, stand a little taller, and they'll keep their arms and legs uncrossed. It's a nonverbal way of saying, I'm open to you. But here's the secret detail most people never notice. Look at their feet. Seriously. Our feet have this weird habit of pointing in the direction our brain wants to go. So if their feet are pointing towards you, even if they're talking to someone else, that is a huge, huge clue. And that brings us to our fifth and final sign, the genuine smile. Now, I know what you're thinking, a smile, obviously, but hold on, because not all smiles are the same. There's a world of difference between a polite, social smile and a real, genuine one.
So how can you tell the difference? It is all in the eyes. A polite smile is just the mouth, but a genuine smile, what scientists actually call a Duchenne's smile, is a full face event. It travels all the way up and engages the muscles around the eyes, creating those little crinkles at the corners. That's the one you're looking for. It signals authentic joy, and it's pretty much impossible to fake.
Okay, so you've seen it all. The prolonged eye contact, the mirroring, the leaning in, you even got a genuine smile. So, that's it, right? Case closed? It's a sure thing? Well, hang on. Not so fast. Before you jump to any conclusions, there's one absolutely critical thing you have to keep in mind.
And it's this. Context is everything. I mean, different cultures have different rules about eye contact. And think about personality. A really shy person might be totally into you but avoid your gaze, while a super outgoing person might touch everyone's arm. That's why you can't rely on just one sign. A single signal is just a clue. It could be an accident. But when you see a cluster of these signs, the eyes, the mirroring, the proximity, All of it together, that's not just a clue anymore. That's a conversation.
And really, when you learn how to look past just the words and see that whole unspoken conversation, it kind of feels like having a superpower. You're not just guessing anymore. You start to understand what's really going on beneath the surface.
So if you enjoy decoding the hidden signals that make our world tick and you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We would love to see you for the next explainer.